Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates Power Sculpt workout. In today's routine, we're going to be stepping up the intensity by adding a set of hand weights. I've got a set of 3-pound hand weights. You could go heavier, you could go lighter. A set of ankle weights would also work really well with this routine. This workout does include a warm-up and a cool down. We're going to be sculpting our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to place the weights off to the side of the mat to begin with. We're going to move into an all fours position. I'd like you to plant your hands down on the mat about shoulder distance apart. Spread the fingers, curl the toes, deep inhale. And as you exhale, I'd like you to lift your hips up toward the ceiling, taking a moment here to stretch out the spine. So flatten out the upper back, bend your knees as needed to get that lift in the hips. Let your head hang between your shoulders and really lengthen up through your tailbone. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to tap the knees down to the mat. Inhale and exhale, shoot back up. Inhale, tap the knees. Exhale, lift through the abdominal wall as you elevate the hips. Inhale, tap. Exhale to lift. Lower and lift. Stretching the spine every time you elevate those hips for 3, 2, scoop belly in, and last one. Amazing work. Now come forward into a plank. Hold in a high plank with your wrists below your shoulders. And from here, we're going to bring the right knee in and then stretch it back. Bring the left knee in, stretch it back, and shoot back into your downward dog. Let's repeat that. In, scooping belly to spine, in with alternating knees, and then lift those hips and stretch those shoulders. Good. Keep repeating that movement. One knee, then the other knee. Send it back for a stretch. Nice flat line with the body as you hold in plank. Engaging the core and then stretching the spine and the backs of the legs for 3. Nicely done. Last 2 sets here. Really power up through those shoulders. And last one, in, and lower the knees down to the mat. Take them nice and wide and send your hips back into a child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here, we're going to lift up and find the center of the mat. And we're going to draw some arm circles backwards. So sweeping the right arm back, sweeping the left arm back, and then repeating, alternating sides. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine as you mobilize those shoulders. We're going to start this workout off with our upper body work. So we want to make sure that the shoulder joints are really well lubricated. Now we're going to lift both arms up together, stretch, opening through the chest. Lift and lengthen, opening through the chest for 3, and 2, and final 1. Now we're going to twist to the right, looking out over the right shoulder. Back to center, inhale, and exhale, twist to the left, looking out over left shoulder. So I always like to include alternating sides, a spinal rotation in my warm-ups. I think it not only feels good, but it also helps to protect the back from injury, making sure that it is warmed up in every direction. Good. For 2. And we'll do 1 more each side. Twist, keep the spine really nice and tall here, and give it a nice twist over to the left, stretching the neck, and back to center. Amazing. Now I'd like you to sit down on your mat and get your weights handy. If you're using ankle weights, they should be on your wrists or cuffed around your hands. From this position, we're going to bring the weight out in front of the body at shoulder height. Palms are facing in toward each other. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to curve back into a C curve with the spine. We're going to pull the right elbow back, pull the left elbow back, lift up, stacking the vertebra one on top of the other, and then pull both arms back, contracting the upper back muscles. Come forward, pull back for 2 without arching the spine, and forward. Then we're coming back into our C curve, engaging the abdominal wall, pulling back with the right elbow, pulling back with the left elbow, coming up, and pull back for 2. So when we're lifted up, our spine is nice and straight, and as we lower down, our spine is curved. Now, as you bring the weight back on either side, try not to become uneven across the hips. So as you pull back on this right side, you don't want to lift the left bum cheek up off the floor and vice versa. Bring it up, pull back. Use those chest muscles, use those upper back muscles. Nice work, curve it back. Give it a lot of energy. Keep those arms at shoulder height. I know it's tough, but try not to let them drop. Last set, curve it back. Pull back on that right side. Pull back on that left side. Lift up and double pump back for 2. Amazing work. Lower weight down. Now I'm going to come into a cross-legged position. You can either be kneeling for this or you can be standing, whatever's more comfortable for you. I'm going to start off with some bicep curls on the right side. I'm going to double up my weight. If you've got heavier weight, you don't need to double it up, or you can simply use a single dumbbell. So I'm going to extend my left arm out long, so it's shoulder height, palm facing down. I'm going to lock my upper right arm in toward the side of the body and go into some bicep curls on this right side. So the neck is nice and long, core is engaged, creating a nice stable base of support running up the middle of the body and really engaging, pulling the weight up toward the shoulder and then lowering it with control. Notice I'm not completely straightening my arm as I lower it down. I'm keeping the tension on those biceps and keeping the upper arm locked in toward the side of the body. Chin is parallel with the floor, neck is long, posture is good. Nice work. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Nicely done. We're going to switch sides. Taking that right arm out to the side, stretching and lengthening, making sure those shoulders are perfectly level and the left upper arm is locked in toward the side of the body as we lift and lower that weight up toward the shoulder. Good. Keeping the tension on those biceps as we lower down with control. Good. Making sure your posture is nice and tall. Core is engaged. Nicely done. Pumping that weight up toward the shoulder. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now, weight comes to the side of the body. We're going to face the palms so that they're forward. We're going to lift the weights up to shoulder above the shoulders, above the head. We're going to lower, widen the weight to the sides, back together, lift and lower. So we're lifting, lowering to shoulder height, keeping the weight at shoulder height as we open those arms, bring them back together, lift up and lower down. Lift, lower to shoulder height. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears as you move the weight through the air. Good. Working into those shoulders, working into those upper back muscles and chest muscles here as we lift and lower with control. We're moving slowly. We're moving with balance and control. Open, close, lift, and lower. Good. Working lots of little areas in the shoulders that maybe don't otherwise get targeted in certain exercises. So it definitely feels challenging. Good. But stick with it. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whew, these are burning. Working hard. Good work. Last 2 sets. Keep that neck nice and long. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Last set. Lift, lower, open together, lift and lower. Woo, I was struggling in the end. Okay, well done with those. We're now going to move into an all fours position and focus on our triceps. So I'm coming down on my weights like so. The fists are below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. In fact, I'm going to take my left hand off the weight and I'm just going to lower it down to the mat. From here, I'm going to straighten the right arm, make sure that the shoulders are level, and I'm going to lift, squeezing the back of the arm and lower. Lift and lower. I want you to start off really slow here. Again, finding that balance across the shoulders so we don't want to be opening up to the right side as we lift that weight. We want to be creating a nice stable base of support in the trunk so that we can really focus this work in the tricep, the back of the arms, as we lift and lower. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, sticking on this right side, we're going to come up for a double pulse. So we're going to lift, pulse, pulse, and lower. Lift, pulse, pulse, and lower. Good work. Lift, lift, lower. Lift, lift, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Last 4. Lift, lift, lower. Engage the core. Nice long neck. Gaze is on the mat. Keep that arm straight. And lift, lift, and lower. Good work. Whew, those were tough. Okay, super effective for sculpting the backs of the arms though. Let's switch over to this left side. The right wrist is below the shoulder. Now we're going to extend that left arm. We're going to lift and lower, keeping the shoulders completely level. Gaze is down on the mat. Neck is in line with the spine. And the arm is strong and straight as we lift that fist up toward the ceiling. Good work. Engage the core every time you breathe out to lift. We've got 5, 4, 3, amazing work for 2, and final 1. Now we're going to go into our double pulses up. Lift, lift, lower, lift, lift, and lower. Good work. 1, 2, and lower down. Pulse, pulse. See how high you can get your arm whilst keeping your shoulders balanced. Lift, lift, and lower. Up, 2, lower down. 1, 2, and lower. I know it's tough, stick with it. 2 more sets. Lift, lift, and lower. Last set, and lower down. Amazing work. Drop your weight down on the mat and just sink back into a child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Regulating that breath. Nicely done. We're now going to move into our abdominal work. I'm going to be holding on to my weights for all of the abs exercises, but if it gets too much, please do drop the weight off. You don't necessarily need it for this ab work. It just steps up the intensity that little bit more. So I'm resting down on the mat. I'm going to bring the weight over the shoulders, palms are facing in, knees are bent. We're going to start off with some crunches. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're driving the right knee in toward the chest, bringing the weights or just the arms down by the sides, and then lowering, switching sides. So we're lowering and lifting into a crunch. Now, as you lift up, I want you to rest your head on top of your shoulders so that every time you look up, or you crunch up rather, you're looking out between the thighs. You're challenging yourself by picking your shoulder blades up off the mat and really engaging with that core as you exhale. So as you exhale, you're crunching up, you're pressing your low back into the mat, and you're warming up that abdominal wall. Good. Challenge yourself by bringing your forehead as close towards your knee as possible. Again, without straining your neck. So we want to move with good control and good form. Good. So sort of not swinging yourself up by curling and crunching, peeling each vertebra up off the floor for your upper back as you press the lower back down into the mat. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. Nice. Bring the weight back over the shoulders. And from here, we're going to straighten out the legs. We're going to inhale here and exhale, lifting the right leg, then lifting the left leg. I want you to really point hard through your toes here so that your leg muscles are switched on and engaged. Peeling up, stretching and lengthening through those toes. Every time you lift the leg, working in deep into those core muscles. We've got 6, 5, 4, lift those shoulders up, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to bring the knees in toward the chest. Legs are squeezing together here. I've just got my forearms resting on my knees. We're going to go into a double leg stretch. So we're going to extend arms and legs. The weights are together, the legs are together, and then I'm bringing them back in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, back in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it back in. You can pick head, neck, and shoulders up for this if you want a little bit more of a challenge in this move. Good. Lift and lengthen and bring it in. Extend, squeezing legs together and bring the limbs back in. Inhale and exhale. Stretch, pull belly to spine as you bring it back in. We've got 3, 2, final 1, and lower legs down. Now from here, keeping the weights where they are, we're going to inhale, peel up, exhale, lift and lengthen, and then lower down with control. Lift and lower. Lift it up, pulling belly to spine, and contract those lower abs and curve your way back down to the mat. Nice work. Use those upper abs to peel up with control and pulling navel in as you lower down will really help you to engage and work those lower abs. Good, getting into the breath, making every roll up count by using your core strength to come up slowly and lower down slowly. Good, for 2, and last 1. We're coming all the way down. Nice work. Now from here, bring the knees back in toward the chest, extend them out long. Bring the weight over the shoulders. Once again, we're going to inhale and exhale. Lower the right leg, lower the weights, and bring it back. Lower the left leg and come back. Final push here. And lift. And lift. Lower. Belly to spine to lift. Point and lengthen through the toes. as you move between the flat back and the crunch position. Nice work. We've got 4, 3, 2, and on our final one, we're gonna lower both legs down together, hold strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower weights, bring knees in toward the chest. Take your right hand over your right knee, left hand over your left knee, and just circle those knees in opposite directions, massaging your low back on the mat. Drawing deep inhales and slowly exhale each breath. For 3, and 2, and 1. Nicely done. Roll yourself back up to a seated position. I'm going to place my weights off to the side, and I'm going to start off on my left side. So we're going to start targeting our left glutes. I'd like you to position your wrists so that they're below your shoulders, or you can come down onto your forearms, whatever is more comfortable for you. Make sure you're right at the top of your mat so you've got enough room to move. The leg on a full extension behind you. Extend the left leg out long. Square your hips with the mat. We're going to go into some rainbow leg lifts. So we're going to cross the leg over bent leg and then over to the opposite corner of the mat. So we're creating a nice arc in the air as we tap from one corner of the mat to the other corner of the mat. Now, start off really slow. Make sure that your core is engaged and that your lower back is in neutral. Make sure that you're not sort of wagging around in your torso from side to side as you pick that leg up, moving it from one side to the other. So move really slowly, move deliberately, and start focusing on those left glutes doing the work. Left hamstrings working here as well. Lower body is firing up. Good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Remember every time you exhale to lift your abdominal wall up towards your spine. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring the legs straight out behind you, bend at the knee, and I'd like you to just turn the knee out so that the inside of the knee is facing down toward the mat. So we're almost creating a half diamond shape with the leg. We're going to lower that shape and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. So lifting and lowering. That shape in the air. Engaging the core, like I said before, every time you lift that leg. Find that balance in the torso, find that stability, and really fire up those left glutes. We're working into the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus here. Keep the toes pointed, lifting and lowering with control. It's a very small range of movement, but it's effective. Push the mat away from you so you're broad across your shoulders. You're not collapsing on one side. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maintaining that shape. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. So you're kind of out on a little bit of a diagonal here. Contract those hamstrings as you pull the heel back toward the bum. Nice work. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep that leg elevated. Last one and hold, lower down. Whew. Okay, from here, I'm going to come down onto my side and I'm going to put the left leg on top so that we can continue to work that left side from a side lying position. So I'm going to prop myself up on my hand, or you can be on outstretched arm. I'm gonna pick both legs up together and bring them forward, coming into a pike position. Now you have the option here of just keeping your weights down or popping them on your thigh like so. I might just go for one of them. Ankle weights could come in handy here too. So I'm gonna start off by really lengthening and pointing through the toes, anchoring that lower leg down to the floor. As I lift the top leg, tap to the outside of the lower leg, tap to the back of the lower leg. So I'm tapping forward, tapping backwards. Now we really want to make sure, again, that our core is engaged so that we're not rocking around in the torso here. We're keeping the torso still so we can really switch on those thighs, switch on those glutes. So this is just a little bit of weight, 3 pounds on this hip, but I can really feel it. Make sure you keep those toes pointed. Really lengthen out through the toes as you lift the leg, drawing a nice big arc in the air. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the heels together. Now from here, I'm gonna flex the feet and separate the toes. So just the heels are connected. So I'm sort of lifting the top toes. And then we're gonna lift and lower. Lift and lower. So lift, leading up with those toes, tap the heels together, and then lower down with control. Or lift up with control. Good. Core is engaged, shoulders are relaxed, down away from the ears, lengthening out through those heels as we lift and lower the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, I'm gonna lift and bend the knee in and then kick it out. Bend and kick. So I've still got that foot flexed. I'm really pushing out through the left heel, giving it a lot of power and energy. Again, relaxing those shoulders, engaging the core, keeping that leg suspended in the air as I kick with a lot of power. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. We're going to pulse the leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I know it burns. Final push. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. I think we really thoroughly targeted that left side. So now we're going to move on to the right side. So I'm going to place these weights out of my way. We're coming into our all fours position, either on your forearms or on your wrists. The wrists are below your shoulders, knees are below the hips. I'm going to extend my right leg out long, finding length, squaring the hips with the mat, and then tap and tap. Tapping to opposite sides of the mat as I squeeze the bum at the top of every movement. Firing up the gluteus maximus muscles on this right side. This is one of my favorite glute exercises. Breathe through it. Again, if you're really arching in your lower back, don't take the leg up as high. You don't want to feel pressure in your low back. You want to feel strain in your glutes, but not your back. Really pull the belly button to the spine. Create such a nice stable base with your torso. Your shoulders are broad, your hips are square. Your core is engaged. Your neck is in line with your spine, and your gaze is down on the mat. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to center, bend the knee, then we're gonna rotate the knee so it's to the side. We're gonna lower, creating that half diamond shape with the leg. Good. It's a little bit awkward, but it's a good position for targeting the glutes from various angles. So again, we're not only working our gluteus medius, but now we're working, or not only working our gluteus maximus, we're also working our gluteus medius muscle here too. So find that stability, mind-muscle connection, working those glutes. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Bend and extend. Extend and bend. Good work. Keep that leg elevated. You're coming out on a diagonal before bending the knee, contracting the heel to the bum, working into the hamstrings. Good work. We've got 6, 5, 4, nice broad shoulders, 3, keep that leg elevated, 2, and 1, lower it down. Nice work. Now we're gonna come over onto the side. Right leg is on top. Whew, I'm really sweating. Okay. Final few exercises here. I'm going to extend the body out long, lift those legs, and come into that pike, placing the weight on the thigh. You can do this weightless if you would prefer. I'm gonna lift that top leg, tap, and tap behind the lower leg. So remember, we're pointing both sets of toes, we're really lengthening out and contracting the muscles in both legs. That bottom leg is acting like an anchor to prevent us from rocking around, so we can really work that top leg well. Hips are working, glutes are working, thighs are working. Keep it up. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Breathing through it. Engage that core. We're working into our waistline here at the same time as working the lower body. That's what's so great about so many Pilates exercises. You're working multiple muscle groups. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, get that leg up there, and last 1. Now, bring the feet together, flex the feet, turn the top set of toes up toward the ceiling, leg lifts. Inhale and exhale, leading up with those toes and driving down through the heel. Tap the heels and then lift it right back up. Again, trying to resist rocking in the torso. Get into that breathing pattern, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Controlling those exhales through pursed lips. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna bring the knee in and kick. Bring it in and kick. Glutes are really on fire here. I hope you can feel it too. Keep that neck nice and long, shoulders relaxed. As you give it everything you've got for these final 2 exercises. Good, let's go 5, 4, 3, push through that heel, 2, and 1. Hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower. Oh my goodness, that was painful, but we are done. Now we get to stretch. So I'd like you to roll down onto your back. I'm gonna cross my left leg over my right, interlace my hands and take them behind my right thigh, hugging the right knee in toward the chest. Stretching out the left glutes. I'd like you to connect your lower back with the mat if possible, so that you can feel the stretch in the lumbar spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hug it in a bit closer for our final 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the stretch. Right leg over left. Interlace your fingers. Ooh, this side feels really tight. Breathe into any areas of tightness. Breathing in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth as we connect our low backs with the mat. Opening up in the hips, stretching the glutes, relaxing the shoulders. Hug it in a little bit closer for your final 5 seconds. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower feet down to the floor. Use your hands to help you to come into a seated position. Lift arms up and fold over your lower body. Take a hold of your calves, your ankles, or your feet, and just pull yourself down into a really deep back body stretch. You can feel this in the lower back. You can feel it in the backs of the legs. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, fold a little bit more deeply into your stretch, pulling your chest a little bit closer down toward your legs. For 3, and 2, and 1. Now I'd like you to bend at the knees. Take your hands on either side, breathing in through the nose. And as you exhale, just stretch and open, extending the spine, opening through the chest. Take a couple breaths here, really pushing the chest forward. For 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now you can turn and face me. Legs are crossed. We're going to lift the shoulders up by the ears. Inhale, and exhale, roll them down and back. Let's take 2 more. And last one, lift and melt those shoulders down and back. Amazing work. I hope you enjoyed this powerful Pilates session. Well done for making it through, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. Bye.